snowflakes in the sky. Isn't that pretty? It is dark and early at 6:45 in the morning on Tuesday. I am headed to my school to do our vital sign checkoff. And so today we're supposed to do our vital sign checkoff, and I'm not sure when we're supposed to go get our RN student badges from the library, because we were supposed to do that last week, but because of the storm we didn't get to, obviously, and now we're like in a real crunch for time because this is the third week, and we really only have this week, next week, and one more week. So we really have 3 weeks left of lab, where we have to fit in all of our checkoffs and our math mastery before we can start clinicals on week 6. So there's going to be a real crunch for time. I think right now they gave us a revised schedule for lab, which shows us doing our physical assessment checkoff, I think at home via video, and uploading it, kind of like we did for the vital signs practice when we missed lab last Monday. So that is what's on the schedule right now, and I don't know, what they're going to, obviously I think today, because tomorrow was supposed to be our physical assessment checkoff. Obviously it's not going to be, but it's going to be this weekend. And today I think we're going to be talking about physical assessment after we finish our checkoff for vital signs. So I think that's what's on the schedule. I'll have to update you when we get, a little bit more concrete on what's going on. But I'm going to go ahead and head to school because it is a bit of a drive, and I'll catch up with you there. Hey everyone, I'm here at school at 7:30, and I got my spot, and there's already quite a few students pulling in now. I'm sure everyone is just wanting to get ready for the vital sign checkoff. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get inside. I'm always like nervous around tests, and I always tend to be nervous, and my nerves cause me to do poorly on tests often. So let me know in the comments below if you're the same way. But I'm gonna go ahead inside and get signed in and just kind of go over my papers while I'm trying to calm my nerves about the checkoff. And I'll catch up with you guys later. I did bring my lunch today. I brought a green butter lettuce salad with some dried cranberries, croutons, and some honey mustard chicken that I made with ranch. So that's what I had open right now. So I brought that for lunch. I have it in my little lunch bag I was actually able to fit 2 snacks in there, my silverware, napkins, and my energy drink for lunchtime. I was not able to fit my gum in there with all of that, but I'm surprised, honestly, that it fit all of that. So I'm gonna have that probably with some of the other students at lunchtime by the classroom instead of coming out here, but I'll catch up with you later today when I get out of class and let you know what happened. Hey y'all, I am home. I just got out of my clothes. Like I said, I just can't wait to shed them when I walk in the door, because I've just been wearing them all day long. This is my undershirt that I wear. I wear like an athletic undershirt. And so just a few things. Just another really long day, but we did a lot of discussion about physical assessment. That's our next checkoff, and that has to be submitted via a video, unedited, to Canvas, no later than Saturday afternoon, I believe. So I think I've talked to my mom on the way home from school, and I think she's going to let me do it on her. So that'll let my husband watch the kids, probably do that Friday. So that gives me a couple of days to kind of wrap my head around it, because there's so much involved in a physical assessment head to toe. And we just started it this afternoon. So we did some practice on that. We did a lot of discussion on it. We did some math mastery practice as well this afternoon until the end of class. And this morning was the vital sign checkoff. And oh, we talked about intake and output, really important. So we're gonna have some assignments on that. I just kind of wanted to go over a couple of things real quick before I have to start making dinner for the family. But one, I know I had mentioned in my last video that you have to have a 3-hole punch. Here's mine, and sadly it is now busted. I busted my 3-hole punch. I've had this thing, gosh, I don't even know when I got it. It must be like 10 years old. And I think the amount of papers that I've been doing for school has finally, it punched its last hole. So I got myself a new one. It was just delivered today. I got this Boss Stitch one instead. This one can supposedly hole punch 20 papers at a time. So I have no idea what this one could do. I think it was just like a generic brand. I'm not even sure it has a brand on it. I think it was just like a cheapie from Walmart or something, and I probably punched too many papers at once. It was already a little on the fritz, but it's definitely gone now. So that's what I've done. This is, you know, minus my hole punch. I want to show you the amount of items that I had to carry today. So I've got my backpack, which is totally full. And then I've got my lab bag that we have to bring. And then we were just issued a sim bag. And then we have my lunchbox. And then we got this gigantic box of books for ATI. So in my sim bag, I'll just show you real quick. I may not know the names of everything, but this is supposed to be for us to like practice at home. This is a little ostomy piece. We have like a plastic thing that we can like set our, these are like supposed to be, I mean, obviously it's for simulation. So these are like, you can get them wet with saline, you can wipe them with gauze, you can wipe them with an alcohol pad. But we basically checked these out. We were issued these, a certain bag number, and we'll have to turn it in at the end of the semester. But it's just got a whole bunch of different things on it. So here's like a wound for us to practice cleaning and stuff. And we've got a mouth for, I don't know if this is for like respiration or whatever. And what else is in here? We've got some genitals. And yeah, same thing. And is that it? I think that's it. So those are for us to practice on at home. We don't have to bring this back, but I literally, we left with the sim bag, my lunchbox, this huge box of books, which I haven't even opened yet, but it's supposedly all ATI related books. Again, we will have to turn those in at the end of the semester, I guess. And my lab bag that we have to bring every day, and my backpack, and my water bottle. So it's just like, it's a lot. But that's everything that we pretty much went over today. So like I said, we're going to be checked off for physical assessment this weekend. So that'll be something we're going to practice. Tomorrow we're going to do more math practice, a lot having to do with drop factors, which is like the milliliters over minutes times your drop factor for like a drip line and IV. So we've been doing a lot of that. We're doing more of that tomorrow, more on the physical assessment tomorrow. And I don't remember what else they said we're doing tomorrow, but I'm sure it'll just be another hectic day. There's just a lot. By the end of the day, like my head is just throbbing. So I am ready to be done with today. And I'm gonna go ahead and make dinner, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Okay, here's our beautiful sunrise. And Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, is up there, but looks like it's hard to come through on the video. But there it is. So good morning. It's 6:45 or a little bit before that right now. Headed to school. On the schedule today, the updated lab schedule, because of the storm last week, they did change our schedule a little bit. So on our updated schedule today, we are going to be continuing our physical assessment practice. We have to upload a video for faculty checkoff by Saturday. So Friday I'm going to my mom's to practice on her and do the video. And the other things we have on the schedule right now is we're going to be doing cranial nerve assessment and possibly a peer evaluation slash checkoff, which just means that, you know, your other co-students are going to be, you know, checking to see what you're doing too. But, you know, we kind of help each other out. So the cranial nerves, that's what we're doing that. We're going to do some math practice. We're going to learn about gaits and belts and walkers. And what else was on the list? Oxygen devices. So we're learning about those today. I think that was everything that's on there. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, they typically alter it just, you know, even ever so slightly on a day-to-day basis. They'll add some things to it. Usually they don't take away things. They usually just add things to it. But I think those are the main points they're trying to get across today. So I'm going to head out to school. Hey everybody. Okay, so I'm home now and changed, and I'm just going to recap the day. It is Wednesday, September 6th. So today was the last day of lab for the week. Honestly, we only have 6 days left of lab. So next week we have 2 days of including like math practice, and then Wednesday we have our first math mastery. So we get 3 tries to get 100% on our math mastery. If we don't get 100% on math mastery after 3 tries, we're out of the program. So next Wednesday, the 13th, is our first attempt. And then we come back Monday and Tuesday for attempts 2 and 3 to get it down. And then if you don't get it, you're out. But also after those 3 attempts are Foley checkoff and I think wound assessment or something, or sterile wound. So we have 2 checkoffs going on there. So that's what's going on. 6 days left of lab. I cannot believe it's already the end of week 3 in lab. It's unbelievable. And it's all because of that storm, I think, because it feels like we've been in lab for like months, but it's really only been, you know, 9 days technically of lab. And then we have 6 more. So we are nearly there, and then we'll start clinical rotations. I feel pretty good about math, but I am going to be spending the weekend doing a lot of math practice. They did provide us with, I think, like 5 sheets of math practice. And then I have my dosage calculation workbook that I bought off of Amazon for like $16. That was in one of my nursing hall videos. So that is great too. I'll definitely be utilizing that this weekend. I just really quickly wanted to go over what we did today. So I have my schedule in front of me. The first thing we did was discuss our red lab bag contents. We had not done that yet. So everyone made sure we all had the same contents. Nothing was missing. And then we started physical exam and physical examination practice. So we did that for like almost 2 hours, I think, this morning, and I feel pretty good about it. Me and my lab partner, we both kind of decided that we didn't like necessarily the exact order. It didn't work for us as well that it was listed out on the sheet, and they said we can really do it in any order as long as we cover all the bases. So for us to remember it easier, we kind of found our own groove, and we happened to kind of think similarly on it. So we both decided we were going to rearrange the different areas, the systems, basically, you would say. So I got halfway through that in class, and then I just didn't get time to finish that up because we're just constantly doing something. And then we had a short break, and then we did our cranial nerve assessment with peers. So basically they gave us, I think, 45 minutes to go over our 12 cranial nerves with our lab partners and basically get it down to, you know, does do you feel comfortable checking off your lab partner for this? Do you feel like they definitely know it? Did they demonstrate full knowledge? So we did that. That was not turned in. It was just basically make sure that you're not just saying, oh, yeah, you did it. Because I'm sure it'll come back at some point. So we need to know that. So we did that. And then we discussed gait belt and walkers and canes, and how to properly use a gait belt, and you know, how to basically how to instruct a patient to use a walker or a cane for the first time, to make sure that you're giving proper education. So we discussed that, and then we had lunch, and then when we came back from lunch, we went over oxygen devices. So there's several different kinds. Talked about nebulizers, you know, oxygen pumps and stuff, different masks. So we went over all of that, and then we had a short break, and then we did math for the last hour, basically. So math practice. And, you know, they did mention that we cannot make up any extra days that we missed from the storm. You know, it is what it is, and we have to get all of that content fit into the last 6 days of lab. There's just too many variables with like people's work schedules and other classes that they're taking, so that just, it wasn't going to work, which is fine because they gave us plenty to do while we were home anyway. And then they did suggest that we feel for our pulses when we're doing our physical assessment on real people, that we feel for them and find them and figure out like where exactly they are, because there's a whole bunch. So we did some math practice on the board where we all kind of did it independently, and then, you know, checked to see if we all got it right, you know. And then the only other thing is they sent us home with more books. So they sent us home with learning strategies, I guess, to determine like what type of learner you are. So they sent us home with that. It's not super thick. And they sent us home with another drug guide. But they said that really we need to be using the Davis's drug guide and not this one. Whoa, almost dropped it. But it's very big. So they sent us home with this one. It's very thick and heavy. So 2 more books to add to the collection. And I did find out that the ATI books they sent us home with yesterday, those are going to go with us for our full 2 years. We'll be using them in maternal child and pharmacology and med surg, all of that. And then these ones we just use as supplements, I guess. But they gave us plenty to do for the weekend. And then at the end, there was some chatter about maybe there being a pop quiz in theory tomorrow. So I'm definitely going to make sure to go over the reading for theory this week, which was, I believe, chapter 30. And I did that over the weekend, last weekend, the holiday weekend. So I just need to review it and make sure that I am aware, and everything else that we've covered, because who knows. And then they also just may have been scaring us because they like to do that. And tonight is my older son's scout night, so it's going to be real busy, and I don't know like how much time I'm really going to have to study, but I have to. And at least theory starts a little bit later, so I can sleep in just a little bit longer, and hopefully be prepared just in case they do give us some sort of quiz. So that's what's going on for the day. I'm going to go ahead and start making dinner for the kiddos who are coming home soon, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow after theory. Good morning. It is Thursday, theory day, so I am headed to school. To be honest, I feel like I've been very unproductive the last 2 nights or so, just because I don't know if it's because I did a lot of my work over the weekend and now I just have like a little bit less to do, or if there's something that I should be doing and I'm not. So, I mean, it's honestly, in nursing school, you really don't even have time to like stop and think about what you're doing and what's next. There's just so much all the time. So there's been chatter about a quiz today in theory. I don't know if they're gonna do that, and honestly I didn't even know where to start yesterday, possibly studying for it, because we've covered 200 something pages or something like that between chapters 1 through 7 and chapter 30 and chapters 27. So I just didn't even know where to start. So I decided to just kind of briefly look over the physical assessment stuff, but you know, I did all the lessons in SurePath, so I mean, I don't even know like what to look at, and there's just not enough time to go through all of that again and not knowing, you know, what they're going to do. So I'm just gonna wing it today, I feel like. Last night and this morning I did look over some more physical assessment head to toe exams videos, and just tried to kind of get, you know, my ducks all squared away here. I decided to redo my physical assessment checklist just because it flows better for me a certain way. So I've been working on that. I did that this morning when I got up at 6, a little bit before 6 because the cat was making a racket. So I was working on that for a while. I got through most of the video that I was watching before I had to leave. So I'm gonna just go ahead and see what it's all about. I have a feeling that because she's hyped up a possible quiz, she's not gonna quiz. That's just the feeling I get, but maybe she will. Well, I just don't know. But I mean, there's just too much to have covered in the last 3 weeks. To be remembering all of that. There's just too much. So we'll just see how it goes. I'm gonna get to school and we'll see what happens. I also possibly want to get my nursing student badge from the library because they've been sending us, you know, a few students at a time, but they've been going by last name, and obviously they start with A, and it's just been taking forever. We were supposed to do this week 2, and here we are at the end of week 3 going into week 4 next week, and more than half the class still hasn't been, you know, called to go do the badge. So I'm gonna see if maybe I can get it today. We'll see, but we're just gonna go and see what happens. Good morning. It is about 8:30 on Friday, and it is my day off from school. I just realized that I hadn't finished up a video for yesterday about how theory day went, so I wanted to recap everything right now. We actually have a storm brewing outside right now, so there's some thunder. But so theory yesterday, we had like one small break, and then, you know, like 10 minutes, and then we had like a 20-minute break. So we mostly did the PowerPoint lecture. We did a couple of group activities to kind of, you know, it was meant to be, you know, fun, but also to go over the material. So, you know, I appreciate that. So we had a couple of group activities to kind of remember the material, and at the end there was a pop quiz. The dean of the nursing school and the assistant dean both sat in the morning. So I guess originally our instructors had planned to give us that pop quiz first thing, but because the deans were there, they decided to do a like interactive lecture instead, and then do the pop quiz at the end. So the pop quiz was at the end, and there had been chatter about it from the day before at lab, but we weren't sure whether they were actually going to do it or not. It turns out, you know, from I have you know, just 3 of us in a little group chat, and then there's like almost 20 of us in another group chat. Everyone that I asked in the large group chat and the small, no one got better than an 80%. Anyway, they had like an A, B, and C version. That's what I wanted to say of the quiz. So it's not like you could like cheat off your neighbor or anything. But considering we all, you know, didn't do all that great, and I know I personally read all the SurePath and did all the micro quizzes and all the little tests at the end and everything. And, you know, they mentioned a couple of times during the activities yesterday that, you know, oh, you told them they didn't need to know this, but they do need to know this. And so there's a little bit of that going on because we have 3 instructors. So each one of them is telling us things that they think we need to know instead of like a cohesive unit where they all are on the same page. So it's making it a little tricky. You know, on one hand, you think, oh, great, you know, 3 instructors, that means, you know, we'll have, you know, awesome learning experience, and, you know, the amount of knowledge that they have is great. And it is. But on the other hand, you know, the con of that is that, you know, they all were practicing nurses for you know, under 10 years or so, and some for 30, 40 years, I don't know, a long time. So they all have different methods, different ways to do things, and it's not exactly on the same page. So it's making it a little difficult for us to kind of follow what we need to know when they're all saying something a little different. So that's the biggest con to having multiple teachers. But so that was basically theory day. We finished up with the pop quiz, and they did let us know that, you know, for our clinical sites, when rotation starts in a couple of weeks, that we need to have our COVID cards update, you know, not updated, but uploaded to the site for each of the sites. I mean, to the website, like as an assignment. So we need to have those done, and we need to have our flu shots done. This is all this month. So those will be the next things on the list. And today, since it's my day off, I have plans to go to my mom's house, and I'm going to do my physical assessment on her. So I've been kind of preparing for that last night and this morning, but with all the kids' noise and everything, I just haven't had a whole lot of time. And plus Wednesday, my son had scouts, and last night my daughter had tumbling. And tonight my daughter has tumbling, and tomorrow the assignment is due. So it's coming up real quick. So I was really wanting to hopefully get it done today. So that's the plan for today. I just got out of the shower a little bit ago. So my husband just took off with the kids to drop them off at school. And I'm just refreshing the material now that it's nice and quiet here. So I'm going to do that, head out to my mom's in a little bit, and then get the video done and hopefully upload it today if I can be successful at it. So that's the plan. And next week we go into, I think, learning about either wounds or Foley's. Those are the last 2 checkoffs, I believe. So, and then math mastery, the first attempt is Wednesday. So it's coming up real quick. There's only 6 days left of lab. So I will get back to you guys Monday when the new week starts and let you know how my physical assessment video went and all that. We also have 2 assignments due this weekend. We have our week 3 lab assignments, which is like 4 modules worth of ATI, doing the lessons and then the post-test and uploading our module reports. And we also have an intake and output worksheet to work out, where we have like a scenario, and then we need to figure out what their intake was for a 24-hour period and what their output was for 24 hours. So those are also both due this weekend. So after my physical assessment video is uploaded, I'll be working on those this weekend, studying math, and that is my plan. So I'll get back to you guys next week for week 4. Yeah, week 4.